Are you not able to make it to the gym right now? No problem. Today I'm going to show you a simple home workout based on science. This routine has everything you need to address both strength and mobility from head to toe. Don't miss it. All right, gang, welcome back. I'm Dr. Trav with Impact Physio and Performance. Today, as per request, I'm sharing with you a short home workout routine made up of some of my favorite calisthenic workouts that I use with my athletes. There are no surprises here, guys. You are going to be familiar with most of these exercises. However, we are going to identify some of the more common mistakes, and I'm going to give you an in-depth guide on how to perform them to absolute perfection. Form is key with any exercise. By optimizing your biomechanics, we're going to drastically reduce your risk of injury and without a doubt, help you improve performance in all aspects. Let's begin. First up, we have squats with thoracic rotation. I almost always begin my workouts with a full body exercise that incorporates the lower extremities. Your legs house the largest muscle groups in your body and therefore are one of the quickest and easiest ways to get your circulatory system pumping and the mechanoreceptors in your body fired up and ready to go. So I want a nice clean squat here to at least 90 degrees of hip flexion. Do not let your knees pass your toes. To avoid this, your bottom should go down and back, not just down. Now we're spicing it up a little bit here with a lumbar thoracic rotation up top. Simply place your hands together and rotate as much as you can in both directions. Keeping your hands together ensures the rotation comes from your spine and not your shoulders. Also, avoid shoulder protraction, aka pushing your arms too far forward. Let those shoulders sit nicely in your acetabulum or your shoulder socket and make your obliques do the work here. Nice, tall, controlled movements throughout. Posture is key. Perform 1 minute of continuous repetitions. Now, we are going straight into alternating lunges with a high knee march. Begin in a neutral stance and then take one leg backwards into a lunge position. Once you get into a correct lunge position with your hips facing forward and your front knee lined up with your second toe, I want you to perform 3 small impulses, going only about halfway up to the top of the movement. Make sure you stay lined up correctly throughout here. Both legs should remain lined up with your shoulders, and your shoulders and hips should stay facing completely forward with a nice tall posture. If you start to see rotation occurring in any of these body regions, that being your shoulders, hips, knees, or your core, this represents a compensatory pattern and a lack of stability that can lead to injuries if not addressed. So be very conscious of your posture and body mechanics. Also, don't allow your knee to cave inwards. As mentioned, your knee should be in line with your second toe. This is one of the more common mistakes I see people making with lunges. For a more in-depth look into knee mechanics and knee pain, check out the video link I put in the description below. Now, on the third impulse, I want you to power through with your front leg, bringing that back leg up into a high knee position. Stabilize your core while transitioning into this position so that no rotation occurs in your spine, pelvis, or shoulders. Once you get to that top position, hold that posture for a brief second to train those hip stabilizers on that stance leg, as well as your core stabilizing musculature. If the high knee position is too difficult for you at this time and you feel like you can't control it appropriately, simply come into a neutral, upright standing position with great posture before returning back into your split lunge position. Perform this entire sequence of 3 impulses to every 1 high knee march before switching sides and placing the opposite leg forward. You can also do walking lunges here, applying the exact same concepts. Go ahead and give me 30 seconds on each side and that will give you 1 full minute. Or you can do 15 yards down and back and do that entire sequence 2 times. Now we have one of my favorites, which is a 4-part plank series. We begin by getting onto our forearms and the balls of our feet in a proper plank position. Try to create a straight line from your shoulders to your ankles. Then gently shift your weight forward, backward, and side to side. This is an excellent way to get your rotator cuff fired up and prepared for upper extremity work, and one of my favorite warm-ups in general for the upper extremities. The rotator cuff is composed of 4 muscles that are responsible for nearly 90% of the stability of your shoulder. So it is absolutely essential to strengthen these muscles and warm them up before upper extremity exercise. I want an entire minute here, gang, with short breath breaks as needed. Don't rush this by any means. As you shift from side to side, you should feel the muscles around your shoulder and shoulder blade working to keep you upright and in good posture. Make sure you are not too protracted or retracted here, meaning your shoulder blades shouldn't be rotating forward or caving down and inwards. If I drew a line down the center of your arm, it should be perfectly perpendicular to the floor. Next, we're going straight into a plank push-up. Many of you are going to be familiar with this exercise, and it's one of my favorites for a handful of reasons. Begin on your forearms, and then one hand at a time is going to press into the ground and push upward to bring you into a push-up position. Also, the most common mistake I see with this exercise is allowing your trunk to flail all over the place. Tighten that core and try to allow the least amount of movement possible while transitioning into each position. Next, we're going to transition into mountain climbers. For those of you who don't know, mountain climbers begin in a push-up position, and you simply maintain your upper body in that push-up position while you bring one knee up toward your chest and then alternate legs simultaneously. This is how it looks. This is a phenomenal core workout, and even more so a great exercise because it continues to challenge that rotator cuff as well as your shoulder and spinal stabilizing musculature in general. Strength in these regions is a key factor in injury prevention. A great modified version utilizes the same concepts, however, instead of simultaneously bringing up one knee and lowering the other, simply raise and lower one extremity at a time before lifting the opposite leg up off of the ground. I want 30 seconds to 1 minute here, depending on your endurance. Really try to shoot for that minute, even if it means taking quick breaks to allow your muscles to recover. Remember, there is no change without struggle. That's where the magic happens. Lastly, we're going to finish off with a side plank with shoulder abduction. So, hop into a side plank position with your elbow directly under your shoulder. Then, make sure your spine is as straight as possible. Don't let your belly and hips sag down toward the floor. Once you are ready and stable, rotate your upper hand and shoulder from an abducted position all the way across your chest and under your body. Then return to the starting position in a nice controlled fashion. This exercise is providing some great neuromuscular re-education and is helping to train your body to remain stable during movements, which is one of the primary factors in injury prevention and optimal performance. Boom, there you have it, gang. For my beginners, feel free to take rest breaks in between each exercise. Shoot for 1 minute rest breaks. This includes breaking the 4-part plank series into 4 separate exercises. Remember to listen to your body and push yourself, however, also allow for adequate rest if needed. For my intermediate friends, y'all should have no problem knocking this out with short 15 to 30 seconds of rest in between each exercise. And for my advanced people who flew through this routine with ease, simply repeat this entire exercise sequence several times until your body begins to tell you you've had enough. Try to work up to 4 rounds of this entire exercise series. My general rule of thumb is to perform each exercise routine and each specific exercise until you are unable to perform that movement with proper technique. I'll take quality over quantity any day of the week. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, now's the time to smash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to pick up your free PDF in the link down below. Thank you again for all of your love and support, and remember, movement is medicine.